Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight, we are once again with the Leave the Pack Late Model Series for race number 8 of their season at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Right now, qualifying underway for these drivers. They are given 3 laps to get their best qualifying run in. We've got 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. So far, 21 cars have taken time. We have 27 drivers with us here this evening. 16 cars will go straight into the A feature. And then we will take 2 from qualifying. Zane Bierman in the 55 machine. Right now, 22nd, completing his final lap right there. He will stay in that 22nd spot. Not a lot of practice time for the 55 of Bierman. Now the driver of the number 54 machine, one of 3 winners this season, picked up the victory at his home track a couple weeks ago, Myrtle Beach Speedway, in week number 6. His one and only victory on the year. As he gets into the wall right there, he'll have to shut it down on his 3rd and final lap. 6th quick for Brandon Elvis. Chris Smith in the 80 machine, trying to get his qualifying runs underway. Smith in the 80 machine recently just picked up his first career Leave the Pack iRacing League victory. Back at the what track was Chris Smith's victory at? Trying to think of what that one was, but Smith, first lap time, a 14:20, good enough for 8th quick at this point. Smith's first win was at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, or sorry, the South Boston Speedway in the street stock a couple weeks ago. I knew it was in the street stock, couldn't quite remember what track. As Smith shuts it down after lap number 3. Kyle Heinzelman in the 57 machine. Loops it there on lap number 3. He is in the show, though. As here comes Justin Coleman on his 2nd lap around, trying to punch his ticket into the A main. 18th quick there on lap number 2. He's going to have one more shot at it here. Down into turns 3 and 4. The 14 machine trying to make it in the show. Checkered flag. Final lap time a little bit quicker, but not going to be enough. Justin Coleman will be in tonight's last chance race. We had a couple more drivers sneak in there. We have 28 cars here tonight at the Southern National Motorsports Park. We'll get our qualifying results up on screen before we look at tonight's starting lineup for the last chance race. Justin Brooks going to the top of the board once again. All but 1 week of this season, Justin Brooks has been your fast qualifier. That was back at Myrtle Beach a couple weeks ago. Austin Godfrey in the 2nd spot. Honorable mention here, my little brother Andrew Deal in the 3 machine, qualifying 15th. Able to make it in the show. I was heckling him the entire practice session saying, dude, you need to get downstairs and practice because right now you're not in the show. And sure enough, he ended up getting a lap time in there that was good enough to make it into the show, so we'll see what he can do later on this evening. As we look at tonight's starting lineup, a 12-car field for our last chance qualifier. We're going to take our top 2 finishers out of this one into tonight's A main event. Clint Walker in the 02 machine will roll off on the pole. He'll start next to Justin Coleman in the 14. Row number 2 going to be Brandon Kelly in the number 9 on the bottom side with Noah Comer in the 7 up top. Justin Stoyanovsky in the 19 will roll off from the 5th spot with Dalton Young in the 77 machine starting 6th. Cortland Herman in the 70 will roll off from the 7th spot with Bugsy May in the 28 to his outside. Row number 5 going to be Scott Bryant in the 83 down low and the 55 of Zane Bierman up top. And row number 6 rounding out your field, it's going to be the 5 of Logan Drumheller and the 14 of Jacob Merrill. As the field works their way down the back straightaway for the final time, we've got 10 laps lined up for tonight's B feature event. Last chance qualifier through the restart zone. The pace car is off. The green is up. The green is out. We're underway. Down into turns 1 and 2. Clint Walker going to get a good jump there. He'll lead down the back straightaway, but here comes Justin Coleman peeking a nose outside. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the first time, and around goes Dalton Young. And that's going to bring out the caution flag. A quick yellow there down into turns 3 and 4. Stoyanovsky in the 19 made contact with Dalton Young. Not sure what happened there. But we'll try to get a look at that one more time. This is down into turns 3 and 4. You see the 77 machine around right there. The 19 got into him. We'll see if we can get a better look at what happened. There's the 17 machine, and looked like just a disagreement on space down into the corner. Everybody able to keep it back in the right direction, but the caution flag flies for the first time here this evening. We've got 7 laps to go. The field given the 1 to go signal here. Clint Walker in the 0-2. Gonna bring him back green. So we go into turns 3 and 4. The green is up, the green is out. We're underway. Justin Coleman with a good start there in the 14, but we're nearly 3 wide on the exit right there. Here comes Cortland Herman in the 70 machine to the outside of Brandon Kelly. There was contact right there. Kelly in the 9, way up the racetrack, and around he goes. Brandon Kelly in the 9 machine, around on the front straightaway, and he brings that car pit side. Tough break for the 9 of Brandon Kelly. We saw there was a little bit of contact right here with Cortland Herman. Those two into 3. It looked like the 9 got a little bit loose up on the bottom, tried to bring it back up the racetrack to catch it, and around went the rear end of the race car. Luckily, everybody able to avoid. Zane Bierman, a lucky miss there in the 55. Go on board and see what he saw. As up in front, you see the 9 machine sideways right there, but up out of the corner. Pretty much a blind view for the 55, and he's got... Wow, what a miss for Bierman in the 55 right there, able to get that car through. Clint Walker right now, your race leader, and we're going to have a green-white checkered to see who makes it into tonight's A feature event. Down the back straightaway they go. Caution light still on the iRacing.com pace car. Not quite ready to send them back green. But we will get the 1 to go signal right here. We'll have a green-white checkered ahead of us. Clint Walker in the 0-2 doing a good job right now. Out front, he inherited the pole of this one. But now we will see what these drivers have. Cortland Herman in the 70 going to be hungry to get up into the top 2 positions. Same can be said for Noah Comer in the 7. As into turns 3 and 4 they go. It's in the hands of the 0-2 machine of Clint Walker. Through the restart zone they go. We're back underway. 2 to go. Down into turns 1 and 2. The 14 machine of Justin Coleman gets a good run up top. He'll lead by just a couple of inches down into turns 3 and 4. White flag going to be out this time. 1 more lap to go. Comer in the 7 trying everything he can to punch his ticket into the A main. As they work their way down the back straightaway for the final time into turns 3 and 4. Comer down low in the 7 machine. Around goes the 0-2 of Walker and up into the outside wall. And Cortland Herman is going to inherit the spot. Cortland Herman in the 70 machine finishes in the 2nd spot. We'll walk back through that final corner. Justin Coleman going to win tonight's B feature. But what happened to Clint Walker? Yeah, Walker just tried to shut the door right there. And then up out of the corner, Herman and Comer had a photo finish at the line for the transfer spot. And Justin Coleman going to punch his ticket into tonight's race. We'll see what Coleman thinks in the 14, if we can find him in Discord. It looks like Coleman not quite in Discord yet. He got into the session pretty late, so not entirely shocked that he hasn't found his way into the voice channel just yet, but we'll give him some time. I'm sure he'll be there at some point for him to talk to, or for us to talk to, I should say. Let's talk to Cortland Herman, who just transferred in to the A feature. Cortland Herman up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, an eventful final lap there in the last chance race, but you went from 4th to 2nd, and that's going to punch your ticket into tonight's A feature. How do you feel?
I'm feeling I usually like running here, but with how the car's handling, just want to keep it in one piece and get it through the field, as we could tell by the heat race.
Yeah, the heat race was a little bit messy there, but luckily you were able to pilot the 70 machine in the right lane and get the run when it mattered, just barely beating Noah Comer to the line right there. And that is going to punch your ticket into tonight's A feature. You're going to be starting 18th. We've got 100 laps. Good luck to you. Hopefully we can talk to you later on.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. That was Cortland Herman, driver of the number 70 machine. Able to punch his ticket into tonight's 100-lap main event. Justin Brooks in the 33 machine. Your fast qualifier once again. Comes into tonight with 5 wins on the season. He's finished top 5 in all 7 races so far. He's got a 144-point lead over Brandon Elvis. But the battle between Brandon Elvis and James Pileski for that second spot's pretty close. 24 points there. Brian Voss 4th, 15 points back from James Pileski. And Zach Murphy 3 points behind Brian Voss for that 5th spot. So other than that top spot, Justin Brooks has pretty much got that locked down at this point in the season. We've still got quite a few races left to go. We're just now into the second half of Season 2 of Leave the Pack. So we've got about 8 seconds left here in the warm-up. No invert here in the late model division, so these guys will be starting straight up from the qualifying positions that we established earlier on. And now it is time to see who can tame Southern National. It's going to be a very tough race. This track is very fast. And especially here in these late model stocks, you've got to be laser precise down into the corners. And especially you do not want to clip that apron. In these late model stock cars, it's very easy to loop that car if you hit that apron. So hopefully everybody is able to steer clear and have a good race. We're going to grab a word from Justin Brooks before we head green, your pole sitter here tonight. Justin Brooks up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Alrighty, well, for the 6th time this season, you're going to be rolling off from the pole. What can you do to put that 33 machine in victory lane for a 6th time?
I'm going to try to save right rear tire. Setup's loose this week, so going to try to set a pace and not get too far out front. Just honestly, just try to keep it on second place's nose without giving up the lead and keep the right rear up under me and try to go about 20 laps to go or so.
Alrighty, well, sounds like you've got a pretty good game plan. Southern National is a pretty tough track. That apron can be pretty... you got to be cautious with the apron is what I'm trying to say. It kind of jumps out and grabs you sometimes. What can you do to minimize mistakes and really put a beat down on this field?
Not underdrive the corner and put yourself in a position to get down on the apron and just be smart. I mean, just hit your marks. That's the biggest thing. And I feel like I'm pretty good at being consistent, hitting my marks. I mean, I don't not too worried about hitting apron unless like I completely underdrive the corner or something. But like I said, just got to be smart, be consistent, and be there at the end.
Alrighty, well, sounds like you've got a good game plan, Justin, and hopefully we can talk to you later on.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, good luck. Alrighty, folks, that was Justin Brooks, driver of the number 33 machine. We'll get a rundown of our starting lineup very fast. It'll be Justin Brooks on the top spot, Austin Godfrey second, Brian Voss third in the number 55 machine. Then it'll be Mark Keedeman in the fourth spot in the number 2. Adam Fulford will roll off from the 5th position in the 71. Brandon Elvis will roll off 6th in the 54. Row number 4, going to be James Pileski in the 93 down low. Chris Smith up top in the 80 machine. Zach Murphy will roll off 9th in the 29. Then Gene Garrett rounds out your top 10 in the 211. Carter Russo in the 21 will start 11th next to Caleb Thompson, your winner last night in the Leave the Pack Modified division. Then back behind, rounding out your field, it is Kyle Heinzelman, Brady Cox, Andrew Deal, Trey Ashworth, Justin Coleman, and Cortland Herman. Field works their way into turns 3 and 4 for the final time as we get ready to send them green. The green is up, the green is out. We're underway at Southern National. Down into turns 1 and 2. Justin Brooks going to get the early advantage. Everybody through turns 1 and 2 cleanly. As Justin Brooks comes around to lead lap number 1. 100 laps going to tick away pretty quickly here at Southern National. Here comes Adam Fulford to the inside. Ooh, Gene Garrett up into the outside wall in the 21 machine. Or the 21G, rather. He's on the outside of Brady Cox right here. Cox down low, trying to take over the 9th spot. Caleb Thompson in the 04 going to try to follow suit there as well. If we look a little bit further up, Zach Murphy to the inside of Chris Smith. Murphy had a good run last night in the Leave the Pack Modified division. Just about took the victory away from his buddy Caleb Thompson. A photo finish at the line between those two. Murphy moving forward here up into the 6th spot early on. Carter Russo right there in the 21 machine to the inside of Chris Smith. And right here is what you're seeing, what it's like to be up on the outside lane here at Southern National. Sometimes you can get a little bit of a run, but right now early in the race, not a lot of wear in these tires. These guys are zooming by on the bottom. Outside lane is not where you want to be, as Smith is almost back outside of the top 10 now. Brady Cox right there in the 76. Your biggest mover so far from the drop of the green, up 6 spots. Up into that 8th spot, your second biggest mover. Oh, Smith in the 80 machine right there, a big bump. Got back in line in front of Caleb Thompson right there, and there was a bumper going into turns 3 and 4. So we go forward up through the field. Here comes James Pileski underneath Adam Fulford. Fulford up the racetrack a little bit there. Pileski going to sneak by in the 93. As we look at your top 3 down the back straightaway, 3-car breakaway there as Brandon Elvis runs in the 2nd spot under fire from Brian Voss in the 55. And if you watched any of the All-Star Racing League last season on True Sim Productions, you've seen this before. This 54 machine and the 55 battled all season long. Brandon Elvis ended up getting the better of the two at the end of the season as caution flag flies. Cortland Herman in the 70 machine with some damage on the right front. It looked like he might have been around in turn 3. As he was battling with Austin Godfrey and Trey Ashworth out back. It looked like the 70 machine might have just came up. Didn't see Trey quite up outside right there. Not sure what happened. But here's the view from the 70 of Herman. And just not quite clear. Thought he was up there. But the 8 of Trey Ashworth was right there. Herman to the rear after that one. One of your B main transfers here this evening. As the field gets the 1 to go signal down the back straightaway. They double up. It'll be in the hands of Justin Brooks. Caution lights coming back on. field not quite ready to go. As the pace car comes back out in front of the field, we'll be sending them back green this time by as the field is properly doubled up. Everybody's going to have some space and time. Don't want to rush the restart and get these guys all riled up into turns 1 and 2. As we head through the restart zone, the green is back up and we're back underway. A good start there from James Pileski in the 93 machine. Shot out of a cannon on that outside lane. He's going to try to get the run off the corner. Brandon Elvis way loose right there in the 54 machine. Trying to keep his foot in the gas. The battle for the second spot right there. Pileski peeking ahead. He's going to be clear into 1. James Pileski up into the second position. Here comes Brian Voss underneath Zach Murphy trying to hang on to the 4th spot. Carter Russo trying to work his way forward. He's up 5 spots from the get-go. We've seen a lot of shuffling around so far. That outside lane is definitely not the place you want to be, as you see Adam Fulford in the 71 machine having a little bit of trouble up there. As the battle for the second spot continues, Brandon Elvis back underneath James Pileski trying to take over that second position. Pileski down low, Elvis up top. Or sorry, Pileski up top, Elvis down low. I was kind of looking at it backwards there. But these two battle, and you see when these two get side by side, Brooks is able to pull away just slightly there in the 33 machine. It looks like Elvis is going to get back by. Pileski thought about shutting the door there on Brian Voss, but Voss with a nose underneath going to try to take that 3rd spot back, and he shuts the door right there. Voss up the racetrack there in the 55, and around goes Zach Murphy, and there's a big stack up on the exit of the corner. Carter Russo around, Chris Smith around. Not sure who got tagged first, but you saw so we'll watch Carter Russo in the 21. You saw Pileski and Carter Russo into the back bumper of the 29 of Zach Murphy. And a lot of them around right there. We'll watch it on board with Austin Godfrey here. Was running out back behind Justin Coleman in that 11th spot or so. You see the action right there. Nothing he could do. He got on the binders. Luckily able to avoid, and then gets into the back bumper of Trey Ashworth right there. But I think luckily he was able to avoid that one. Go on board. Get another angle of this. Whew! A good avoidance there. My brother was on the top of his toes right there. We'll go on board with the 3 machine here to see what he saw. You see him swerve right down to the bottom and barely miss that one. He needed every bit of it off the corner right there. Luckily, he was able to get around, and doesn't look like we have too much damage throughout the field. As the caution flag out here for the second time this evening. As we are back under green, 25 laps in, 75 to go. Into turns 1 and 2. Brandon Elvis, James Pileski going to be side by side once again. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. Into turns 3 and 4. Elvis up the racetrack. Pileski going to slide through and take over the second spot. Here comes Zach Murphy to the bottom for 3rd. Murphy down low. Brian Voss in tow. Voss thought about taking it 3 wide right there. Murphy going to shut the door, and that's going to allow Brandon Elvis to get a little bit of a run. Murphy big time sideways right there. Everybody giving it everything they got. They know that there's not a lot of time here. 100 laps at Southern National, going to go very quick, but you also got to keep in mind that those tires have to last all 100 laps, even as fast as they go. As we've got a big group of cars here battling for that final spot in the top 10. Andrew Deal, Justin Coleman side by side for the 9th position right there. We've got Gene Garrett and Caleb Thompson in front of them. We got 2x2x2. Ooh, Thompson loose right there in the 04 machine. Everybody checking up right there off the corner. That's going to allow Gene Garrett to get by in the 21. And the caution flag flies. Kyle Heinzelman around in the 57. As we'll see what happened to the 57 machine. Looked like Godfrey right there. Oh, there was contact between Godfrey and Russo. Godfrey trying to get that car back around. Same with Carter Russo. As it looks like they will be able to stay on the lead lap. At least Austin Godfrey. Carter Russo, the same may not be able to be said, as he brought that machine pit side. As we go back under yellow flag. So far, we've had 3 caution flags. Justin Brooks, your leader from the drop of the green flag. We've seen a lot of shuffling for position, though. Brady Cox, so far, your hard charger, up 9 positions from his 14th place starting spot up into the top 5. 76 machine charging forward here early on. Only 30 laps into this one. Already up 9 spots from the get-go. As the field gets the 1-to-go signal. They will begin to double up through turns 1 and 2. Justin Brooks, your race leader, electing to take that outside lane, as these guys are given lane choice here and leave the pack. So Brooks going to take the outside lane. James Pileski in the 93 down low. Brandon Elvis, Brian Voss, row 2 through the restart zone. We're back underway. Good start there for the 33 of Brooks. He's going to get a good jump out front. Couple car lengths into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Brandon Elvis to the bottom of Brian Voss to take the 3rd spot. Voss gets a good run up off the corner that time. And he'll take over the position back behind Gene Garrett. Into the back bumper of Caleb Thompson, and around goes Justin Coleman. Justin Coleman around. A couple drivers in there very late. So we'll watch what happened here. Looked like the 21 of Gene Garrett and Caleb Thompson made a little bit of contact. Yeah, Garrett up the racetrack there, and the 14 of Coleman went around. Nothing they could do there. Carter Russo involved as well in the 21. He's had a tough going tonight. We'll see what he saw. Nowhere for him to go. Into the back bumper of Adam Fulford there. And Trey Ashworth as well. Fulford not happy about that one. Try and watch this one more time. We'll get a better view from the drone camera here. Try to at least. Drone down the back straightaway. Looked like the 04 of Thompson got a little bit loose. Had to get out of it right there, and around went Coleman. You see the melee unfold. As Coleman down pit road, unfortunately going to lose a couple laps here. Carter Russo, 1 lap down in the 21. As the field works their way into turns 3 and 4. They're going to be single file into the restart zone. We're back underway. Single file start there. Everybody pretty spread out down the backstretch. Nobody making any passes so far. We are just about halfway into this one. As Chris Smith wasting no time getting to the inside of Cortland Herman right there. Herman up top, Smith down low. He's got Caleb Thompson in front of him in the 0-4 machine. Smith still working the bottom side. And you see Austin Godfrey close right up as soon as these two get side by side. Really takes a lot of speed and momentum out of these cars when you're side by side with another competitor, which is why Godfrey is able to pull right up there to the back bumper of the 70 machine. As up front, James Pileski in the 93, starting to get a little bit of pressure from Brian Voss. Voss in the 55 trying to paint that line down low the best he can. You see him close up to the back bumper off the corner. It's all about consistency here at the Southern National Motorsports Park. You've got to be very consistent and able to hit that line just right, as you see Voss really close up to the back bumper now. So we are 48 laps into this one. And as we get later into the event, you'll see tires start to wear out much, much more. The right rear tire here definitely wears out the most. So these loose conditions you're seeing up off the corner are only going to get worse, which is going to make things exciting for us up here in the booth. As we work lap number 50 this time by, we'll get the cross flags halfway in, halfway home. Right here, halfway for Justin Brooks, 50 laps in, 50 laps to go. Trying to pick up win number 6 on the season. We'll see if he can do so, as Brian Voss all over the back bumper of James Pileski, trying to find a way around. Takes a peek inside there. Pileski going to shut the door. But can Voss get the run up off the corner? Very tough to pass, especially if you don't have a nose underneath. Voss has got to be careful here to not overcharge that corner entry. Get into the left rear of James Pileski. As Pileski moves up the racetrack a little bit there that time, Voss going to send it down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Pileski going to have to give way right there. 93 did not want to give the lane right there to the 55 of Brian Voss, but Voss made it happen on the bottom side. Got a good run up off of 2 and made the lane. Pileski was forced to move up the racetrack. You look back a little bit further. Battle for the 10th spot. Austin Godfrey underneath. Caleb Thompson trying to find a way to his inside. As he takes a peek right there into turns 3 and 4. Up the track a little bit there. A little bit of contact in the door right there. As Godfrey able to take that spot away. Move Austin Godfrey back up inside of the top 10. Mark Keedeman in the 2 machine is going to try to take that spot from Austin Godfrey. As here comes Chris Smith to the inside of Andrew Deal for the 8th spot. Smith down low. Ooh, up into the outside wall there. A little bit of contact up off the corner. The 3 machine trying to roll that outside lane. Smith down low in the 80. As ooh, back behind Caleb Thompson down the racetrack. Heck of a save there. Really had to hang on to that car up off the corner. As we are 59 laps in this time around. Lap number 60 going on the board. 40 laps to go. The race has gone pretty quickly. Only 17 minutes into this feature as Smith makes the pass on Deal in the number 3. We look up front. Battle for the 4th position starting to heat up. Zach Murphy putting some pressure on the 54 of Brandon Elvis. Chris Smith able to get by Gene Garrett right there in the 21. That'll move Smith into the 7th spot. Andrew Deal loose right there in the 3 machine. Keedeman trying to take a peek underneath. The 3 will scare up the racetrack a little bit there, and Keedeman going to have an opportunity to pass for that 9th spot. Deal in the 3 machine sideways right there, up off the corner. Austin Godfrey going to try to take a peek underneath as well. As we have 14 cars on the lead lap here, the 3 machine, strong run up off the corner that time. He'll try to drive back up on the outside lane. As you really start to see these guys fighting these cars up off the corner, the right rears are starting to go away, and the 3 machine right there, big time sideways, going to have to get out of the gas. He'll lose 2 positions there, back to the 11th spot. As we look up front, though, Justin Brooks with a 2.2 second advantage over Brian Voss. Voss has got about a second over James Pileski, just about, in the 93. Brandon Elvis in the 4th spot right there in the 54. Zach Murphy's right on his back bumper. And then it's about 2 seconds back, or sorry, a second and a half back to Brady Cox and Chris Smith, who are now battling for the 6th spot. Smith has really put a charge on here late. He is moving forward. One of the faster cars on the racetrack is Smith. So he pulls alongside Brady Cox right there. He'll take over that 6th spot. Cox going to try to go back underneath. Looks like Smith will hold on. Cox going to get loose right there on the exit of the corner and move Chris Smith up into the 6th position. Back behind him, Mark Keedeman getting by Gene Garrett there in the 21. He'll bring Austin Godfrey with him as well. As we look back up front, lap number 74 on the board. This time by, it will be 25 to go for Justin Brooks. Haven't had too many caution flags since that little bit at the beginning. Had a single file restart and then one more double after that. And it's been green flag for quite some time. We last saw the caution flag on lap 39. So these guys have been green for just over 30 laps. As we have 25, make it 24 to go as Justin Brooks comes out of turns 3 and 4. As we look back, the battle for the 6th position. Brady Cox still trying to find a way back around Chris Smith, but he's got Mark Keedeman breathing down his neck. And oh, Brady Cox in the 76 machine goes around. Mark Keedeman was aggressive there trying to get to the bottom. And through the center of the corner, Brady Cox goes around. We'll see what happened. Looked like down into turns 1 and 2. Keedeman was trying to get a run to the bottom side. Looked like there was just a little bit of contact made there, and the 76 went around, locked it up on the exit of the corner. On board with the 2 of Keedeman right here. Just the tiniest bit of contact. We'll try to get one more good view at this one. On board with the 76. Looked like down into the corner. I think the 2 machine might have just gotten into the left rear, and around went Brady Cox. As we have a 5th caution flag here with 21, make it 20 to go at the line. As the pace car drops to the bottom side, the green flag is back out. We're back underway with 19 to go. James Pileski with a good start there in the third spot. He's battling with Brian Voss there into turns 3 and 4. Voss going to try to use that outside lane to his advantage. Pileski in the 93 back there in the third spot. Looks like Voss going to take over the second position once again. Now Brandon Elvis on the outside lane is going to try to use that high side advantage, or high side momentum, I should say, to move back around. This tough break for Adam Fulford off the pace there in the 71 machine. He'll bring that machine pit side, and Pileski down the track, and around he goes. And James Pileski gonna go around. Don't know if the caution flag's gonna fly. Caleb Thompson down low, Austin Godfrey up top. That's the battle for the 6th spot right now. No caution for Pileski, though. iRacing not throwing the caution flag. Admins do not throw cautions here and leave the pack. It is all on the iRacing AI. And for some reason, no caution flag coming out right there. Pileski was sliding all the way across the track. He'll hope to see a yellow with 13, make it 12 to go for Justin Brooks, who's already out to a 1.4 second advantage. Definitely not the conservative talk we saw pre-race from Brooks, but sometimes you got to take it how you get it. And right now, Brooks 1.4 seconds out in front of Brian Voss for that second spot. As we look at Mark Keedeman trying to work his way back forward. Already back up into the 6th spot where he was just about underneath Caleb Thompson there. And you really see the handling starting to go away on these cars. They're really having to work that car through the corner. As we will have 9 laps to go this time. Keedeman going to try to bring Austin Godfrey with him there in the 1. Has moved Caleb Thompson back to that 8th spot. Gene Garrett right up there on the back bumper. This time by for Justin Brooks, it is 7 laps to go. 7 more times around for Justin Brooks, trying to pick up win number 6 on the season. Brooks through turns 3 and 4, going to see the high 5 up in the air from the flagman. 5 laps to go. He's got James Pileski up in front of him in the 93 machine. Pileski a couple tenths off the pace there after that spin with Brandon Elvis. Adam Fulford 1 lap down there in the 71. Or sorry, 11 laps down there. That trouble with Carter Russo on the back straightaway. Austin Godfrey able to get by right there, and this time by it is 3 laps to go. Make it 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks up in the air for Justin Brooks. 2 to go this time. 2 more times around for Justin Brooks. James Pileski trying to stay on the lead lap here. As through turns 3 and 4, white flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Final time around here at Southern National. Through turns 3 and 4 right here, Justin Brooks going to the outside of James Pileski, and it'll be Justin Brooks winning at Southern National. Brian Voss comes home 2nd. Zach Murphy comes home 3rd. Brandon Elvis 4th. Chris Smith 5th. Mark Keedeman 6th. Austin Godfrey comes home 7th, Gene Garrett 8th, Carter Russo 9th, and Andrew Deal rounds out your top 10 in his late model debut. So we're going to take a quick step away here on the WD Broadcasting Network, and then we'll come back with a word from our top 3 finishers when we return. Be right back in just a moment.
Musker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him up?
Alrighty, folks, here we are live on the WD Broadcasting Network. Gonna grab a word from our top 3 finishers here at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Starting with our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Zach Murphy. Zach Murphy up in the broadcast booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Alrighty, well, 2 nights in a row on the podium. You were second last night in the modified race. Tonight you come home in the 3rd spot. You started this race in the 9th spot, worked your way forward. Tell me about your run.
Yeah, definitely an interesting run there. Just really kept the nose clean was the big thing. Well, I say that I was actually looking at the infield wall at one point and got spun back around. And after that, we were able to just keep the nose clean and put the run together there. And then that last caution just really got lucky with Brandon and James having a little contact. I was able to drive underneath and hold on to the podium. So it feels good to get a podium run here.
Yeah, definitely good to be on the podium 2 nights in a row. And 2 weeks in a row, you've been in the top 5 in the late model division. So things are on the upward swing for this 29 machine. Obviously a great run last night, great run tonight. Who do you have to thank for another podium finish?
Yeah, definitely getting into some tracks we like. But just got to thank Justin over at Coleman Designs for the scheme. Got to thank the guys down at Race From 3. Always a great bunch to race with. Got to thank you, Winston, for the league and the broadcast. And just thank my family for always supporting me in doing this.
Alrighty, well, next week in the late model division, Zach, we go to Hickory, and late models are the only division that's going to travel to Hickory. How are you feeling going into there with some momentum pushing you forward?
Yeah, Hickory is a fun track. I mean, I grew up with short track racing, so it's kind of stuff I like to race, and definitely a fun track. And yeah, just looking forward to next week for sure. It'll be a good one.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Zach, on another good run here tonight. 3rd place for you.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yep. Alrighty, folks, that was your 3rd place finisher. Now to talk to our 2nd place finisher. Had a good run a couple weeks ago at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. 2nd place here tonight. Up into the broadcast booth, Brian Voss, you got a copy?
Yeah, Winston, I got you, man.
Alrighty, well, back up on the podium here this evening. 2nd place. You finished 2nd a couple weeks ago at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Back it up here this evening with another 2nd place run. How do you feel after that race?
It was all right, man. We just got shuffled back and had to use a little too much tire. Trying to get back up there. And then there, the mid-80s, whatever lap that was, just the racing deal, I guess, what happened behind me, and I kind of got punted. Just put her in a 4-wheel slide, so it didn't help the right rear at all when that happened.
Yeah, the right rear tire was definitely the talk of the evening. We saw a lot of drivers, especially in the latter half of that race, getting very sideways off the corner. Luckily, you were able to hang on to that machine and bring it home in the 2nd place spot. Who do you have to thank for another podium finish here, Brian?
Well, first and foremost, of course, my buddy Jay and Scott, On Tap Dispense Services, for coming on board the last couple of years and being a sponsor. And then I guess I got to thank the boys at ECR. They asked me to jump on board with them a couple weeks ago. Had a terrible outing last week, but it's good to carry the flag tonight. I wish we could have done a little bit better. But Elvis, Brandon, Brandon Elvis, Justin Coleman, and Chris Smith, and everybody over there. They do a good job of kind of dialing in and working as a team, which is always good to have. Never had that before when I racing, so that's good. And then, of course, my normal Sugar Malls, Cakes and Confections, Florence Motor Speedway, Rain Total Body Fuel, fueled by Middle Light.
Alrighty, well, as you said, always good to have a team to run with or just buddies to bounce ideas off of. That's one of the ways that I've gotten faster throughout my iRacing career is just, watching and observing other people, listening to what they're doing. It's always good to have that helping hand, so good for you to get involved in a good program, and those guys are good. Obviously, we talk to them all the time up here in the booth, so a good group of guys to be a part of, but nonetheless, congratulations to you, Brian, on a second place run here this evening.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I definitely need to. I wish I could get some more track time. I say it every week like a broken record, but it pays dividends to have them guys. They do it and they help me out, so I'm not way out in left field when we get started.
Yes, sir. Always good to have that advantage going in and that, helping hand if you need it, if you don't quite have the speed. Always good to have that teammate to bounce ideas off of. But nonetheless, congratulations to you one more time, Brian, on a second place run.
Thanks, Winston. Thank you for everything you do with the Leave the Pack deal.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was Brian Voss, your second place finisher here this evening. And now to talk to the man of the hour once again for the 6th time this season. Victory number 6 for Justin Brooks. Up in the booth, you got a copy.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Alrighty, well, another race where you lead all 100 laps here in the late model division. Tonight looked a little bit easier there towards the end of the race. Not quite the sit on second place's front bumper like you mentioned in the interview earlier on, but still a good run. Obviously had 2.6 seconds there across the line. I think it would have been more had we not had that last caution with 10 to go.
Yeah, I was going to park it, like I said, in second place as a nose, but I honestly thought we were just saving too hard, so I just picked it up just a little bit. Still saving, but just wanted to pick up the pace a little bit because I was honestly, I'm not a fan of riding around that slow, so we'll see what I got. Just like I said, managing the right rear. Was hoping it was going to go green flag. Didn't want to see that yellow there with 20 laps to go because I felt like we would have probably got like a 5-6 second lead there by the end, but fortunately they came out and had to regroup, get a good restart, and take off there at the end, and still trying to save a little right rear just in case of another late race restart. Didn't have it, thankfully, and still had really good tires, so all in all, good night.
Yeah, definitely a good night for the 33 machine. Who do you have to thank for win number 6 on the season?
Yeah, my girlfriend's watching, so I want to give out a shout out to her and give a shout out to you for obviously for putting this league on and doing a broadcast. I want to thank my buddies over at the Association/Brooks Speed Shop, Cody Kelly, Cam Hamilton, Jim Cottle Jr., Parker Traves, TK, even Chalmers. Chalmers is out there watching tonight, so give a shout out to him. And yeah, everybody runs me clean each every week. Thank them. So yeah.
Alrighty, well, 6 wins so far this season. Next week, we head to Hickory, and I mentioned this to Zach Murphy, but late models are the only division that takes a trip to Hickory. What can you do next week, starting from the rear, to pick up the victory there at Hickory?
Well, hopefully, unlike every other race I've started from the rear, Delta 2, I can keep the nose clean and not go a lap down like I did at Myrtle Beach and have to drive through the field at the very end, but just going to try to save tires depending on how to set up drives and keep my nose clean and just try to be, I'm probably going to just be even slower coming up through the field so I won't get in other people's mess, but try to get up to the top 5 about at least halfway, and if I think we can do that, we got a shot at winning it.
Alrighty, well, it sounds like you've got a pretty good game plan heading into that race, but obviously your game plans have been paying off this season, so we wish you luck next week at Hickory, but congratulations one more time on win number 6 this season, Justin.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was your winner here this evening, Justin Brooks. Thank you guys for tuning in to the WD Broadcasting Network here tonight. Race number 8 for the Leave the Pack Late Model Series. Tomorrow night we will have the Street Stock Division paired up with the Leave the Pack Super Series. So 2 races tomorrow night, one at Southern National, one at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So a fun night of action coming up tomorrow on Wednesday. But wrapping things up here at Southern National, congratulations to Justin Brooks, your winner here this evening, the rest of your top 3 and all of your finishers here tonight. But that'll do it for us here at Southern National. Once again, thank you guys one more time. I am your host from the WD Broadcasting Network, Winston Deal, signing it off. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.